The 40 Lessons Podcast is a Shining Starlet Entertainment production.
Time for another week of life, love, and everything in between on the 40 Lesson Podcast. Let's transition into what the fellas, they probably out there saying, yeah, how she supposed to cover me, Pastor? What's she supposed to be doing? You telling me all this stuff I'm supposed to be doing. What's she supposed to be doing? So the first one I got out to cover him. We men don't outgrow our affirmations. We always want affirmation, is what you were saying. You were saying no matter how old we get, how successful we are, or how strong we appear to be, we need affirmation. Talk about that. Why is that?
I think that's
what's wrong with us.
I think we're human.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. We're human.
We're human.
Right? Everybody flies higher with a little wind under their wings.
Okay.
You understand? So affirmation is like that warm air, that warm current that helps a guy keep soaring. Right? He can already be accomplishing great things, but just to hear it from the woman who loves him, I so appreciate how you go out there and you make things happen, how you work, how you provide for the family, how you're giving your best. I know you're not where you want to be yet, but just know I appreciate it. We appreciate it, right? Those words, man, they carry an amazing amount of energy.
So we be trying to act hard.
We be trying to act like we don't need it.
But we like accolades.
Absolutely, bro.
You know what I'm saying? We enjoy that.
I promise
when
you.
she sees something we did, we be cheesing on the inside.
Look, all he did was cut the grass.
That's it.
Baby, that yard is banging.
I can see the different roads. Did you drop the lawnmower on that one and raise it?
On that. I see you got them edges tight. Dude come in the house, he like, that's what I did.
That's it. It's easy to cover us, ain't it? We don't need much, do we?
No, that's not true.
That's not true?
That's not true.
Why is that?
Because we don't talk.
Why we don't talk? Why are we holding all this stuff in?
There are a number of reasons. Some of it is how we're wired.
Okay.
Right? So neurologically, we are wired in such a way that there are fewer synapses in our brains where data travels back and forth.
Okay.
Right? Than with a woman. So women tend to have more conversation more rapidly than we do. Right? So it's just part of it's how we're wired. Right? The other part, the other possibility, I should say, is that sometimes we don't talk because we're not sure she can handle what we really want to say. Right?
We presume her to be too fragile.
Sometimes we presume her to be too fragile, or we just presume she won't understand.
Because we're missing that she's as equal as we are, and she can handle just about everything we can take on, even in her female state. We sell her short sometimes.
Well, here's another part, and I think it was John Gottman who wrote about this. But he says one of the reasons could be that men have so few friends so often, right? Our tribes tend to be smaller. We tend to have a smaller circle.
Absolutely.
Women oftentimes will have bigger circles.
And varied circles.
Right? So if I go to her and tell her my struggle, I could be alienating one of my closest friends.
Wow.
Right? So I think it is the neurological matter. I think it is possibly the friendship matter. But I also think it is that we tend to just keep things in because we think we can survive without letting it out.
Because that's the manly man.
That's that manly thing, yeah.
God designed men in such a way that respect is a core trait to our identity. Why is respect so big for us? What's that about?
So respect is about do you hold me in high regard?
And why do we need to be held in high regard?
I think we need one. I do think it's because God made us that way.
Okay.
Right. So I don't want to be like circular in the argument.
Absolutely.
But I think it's just how God wired us. Right. That's why you'll see
it's instinctive.
It's instinctive
to be this high king.
There you go.
Absolutely.
We are designed to be king-like.
That's right.
Right. So we're wired for authority.
If we can get more men to understand that.
Bro, I'm just telling you. Step into it.
Step into your kingdom.
Step into your kingdom.
That's
right?
it.
You're wired. You are a king.
Absolutely.
Right? So, we got to carry it Right, so we're wired for respect. We need a woman to show that. So it's the only command that God gives wives for the marriage.
Just respect your husband.
Respect your husbands.
That's it.
Right, and it's not about
we gotta love her like Christ loved the church and all these.
Yeah, like be ready to give your life for her.
Everything.
Right? Dwell with your wife according to knowledge.
We got a whole list of assignments.
He says one thing for the women.
Respect
women,
the boy.
see to it that you respect your husband.
Absolutely.
Right, now listen. We talk about this issue. We have to go both ways on this. Right?
Let's do it.
Right. So one side of respect is a have to.
Okay.
The other side of respect is a desire to.
Right. From the man.
Well, for the woman.
The woman have to.
So she could do it because she has to.
Okay.
Right, responding to a command.
Gotcha.
But if dude is not respectable, right? If dude is shady, if he don't keep his word, he don't pay no bills, he dipping, right? That now she's like, I'm supposed to respect this dude, but he ain't respectable.
Absolutely not.
Right? So she's not. There's no way a woman can respect a dude like that.
Absolutely.
But she will always have this tension in a marriage because he'll bring it back. You're supposed to respect me. Yeah, but I need you to live respectable. So I tell.
So that's the both ways you're talking about.
That's the both ways.
We can't be demanding respect if we not living respectably.
You can't. So she can have to respect you, or she can want to respect you. And when I love her and I honor her, and I care for her needs and I esteem her value.
Absolutely.
You understand? Then respect ain't no thing.
And I'd rather her do something out of want than obligation any day of the week.
There you go.
Absolutely. I dig it. That's easy. But this is the one where all the men gonna say, hey, amen and hallelujah. Sexual pleasure for a man is, in some regards, deeper than a need for physical pleasure. Sexual fulfillment helps a husband to experience aspects of his unique God-given design.
Yes.
So men are getting their pens and pads out right now, Pastor. They want to get this argument together so that they can say, you got to help me get my unique God design. That's going to be the new way they ask for it now. Explain that part, because women like, here you go.
Okay, so anatomically, the way God has designed us.
Okay.
Right, a woman is designed to receive.
Mm-hmm.
Right, she is anatomically designed to receive. A man is anatomically designed to penetrate.
Okay.
So it speaks to the need. A man he's wired physiologically so that when he releases sexually,
okay,
not only does he feel a deep sense of respect. As a matter of fact, a lot of dudes misuse the whole sex thing because they are angry and because they feel disrespected somewhere else, and so they go and try to make it happen.
Mechanism.
It's like a coping mechanism,
and not the way it should be.
Not the way it should be, exactly. But when it's healthy, right? If you're trying to have a healthy marriage relationship,
okay,
right? A woman should understand that a man who is rejected sexually repeatedly, right? Whether it's because it's a headache, it's because the children are always around, busy, whether it's because her job is taking her out of town all the time, whatever the reason is, if you keep telling a man no, then that rejection will lead to anger, it will lead to resentment, which will oftentimes then lead to depression, because when a dude feels like, man, I need this, I need her to welcome me.
Wow.
I need her to receive me. I need her to understand that this is a real physiological need in my life.
Absolutely.
And I'm not suggesting women don't have a similar physiological need. That's another conversation. But what I'm saying is, I've seen dudes depressed who are good men,
but they're not getting the attention that they want from their wife.
They're not getting the sexual welcoming that they need from their wives.
They feel like they have to tiptoe around that, or that's something they have to almost beg for.
Got to beg for it. Keep getting no's about it. Right? It's like, well, not this week. Right? Well, how about right? When a dude gets to that,
then at some point I'm pestering you.
At some point I'm pestering.
It's one thing to be the person who initiates, but it's another thing to get to the point where I'm a bugaboo.
And if I gotta beg you to give me what we
when
said,
it's getting thrown at me in the streets like wide receivers, open down the 20-yard line.
Listen,
I ain't even gotta say hi.
Listen, anybody whose well is not being filled by clean water,
oh man,
will easily take dirty water.
Ooh, anybody whose well is not being filled by clean water will easily take Dirty water. Amen on that.
Right. A dude's gonna go anywhere he feels respected and welcomed.
Wow.
He's gonna go. And the truth of the matter is, when the shoe's on the other foot and it's the woman who's being rejected, right? When she's not getting that attention, that sense of closeness, that acceptance, right? She's gonna look for it somewhere else too.
Absolutely.
40 Lessons, a coach for life. For life coaching services, contact Dumisani Solwazi at thereal40lessons@gmail.com. That's thereal40lessons@gmail.com.
I heard T.D. Jakes say one time, he said when men start going through emotional issues, they make decisions.
They make decisions.
And they're not always the best decisions.
That's right.
You know,
right.
we make terrible
That's right.
decisions in
That's
those
right.
moments.
That's right.
That's wild. Oh man, but that's good though. I'm glad we were able to break that down a little bit because it's bigger than sex.
It's bigger than sex.
And that's what I want people to understand. You know, and don't get me wrong. We're talking about married couples.
Yes.
Cover him and cover her is not the boyfriend and girlfriend thing.
It's not.
This is husband and wife.
Yeah.
But we talking to couples who trying to get to the husband and wife standpoint. You do need to know what you're getting into. You should have a prerequisite of
Right.
what you think you need.
Well, and don't marry somebody and give them the impression that you are excited about discovering and exploring, right, your relationship sexually, and then all of a sudden they discover, wait a minute, I'm in a marriage and I can't even get.
I can't do nothing.
Ain't no action.
What's
right?
going on up in here?
Yeah, that's a problem. But I want to speak to the couples who are not married.
Go ahead.
Right, because you can never have your healthiest relationship acting outside of God's principles. I tell people, you got to work the word because the word works.
You got to work the word because the word
word works, right? So if you try to have a sexual relationship, sexual intimacy, great fulfillment, and it's inconsistent with the word, in other words, you're not married, then you're not working the word. And so don't expect the word to work for you, right? Don't expect to have a deeply fulfilling marriage because at some point something's going to break down. And when all of you is already out there and you don't have a marital guarantee, come on, talk to me.
Oh, man.
You don't have a marital guarantee.
Now you're going to run.
Now somebody's going to run. Or if they run, they taking part of you with them.
Right. Because there's no covenant holding us together.
There's no covenant holding you together.
Wow.
So when two people come together, they leave a part of them. And that's why God says the two shall become one flesh. So
that's
even
it.
if you're not married, a part of you is going somewhere else. If he goes somewhere else or you go somewhere else. That's why people can never get out of their mind the first person they made love to or sometimes the 20th person. Right? Because when you weren't married to them, but you still know the smell, you know the place, you know the song that was playing in the background. Come on, talk to me.
It all comes back.
And when it falls to pieces, that's why the heart gets broken.
And it gets into the psychological intimacy of the other person that you're trying to grow with and get with if you haven't been careful and really flush that person out of your system.
There you go.
Woo! They wasn't expecting that to slip in on them, but I'm glad you gave it to them.
We had to put that in there.
Let's talk about real quick. I wanted to talk about 5 keys to companionship in reference to covering him. I want you to hit on these things if you can. Shared experiences. What's so big about shared experiences?
Shared experiences is everything, right? Most of what makes life exciting is that we get to share experiences with people we're close to.
We gotta do stuff together.
Do something together, right?
Okay.
Have some time together, right? Let's go travel. Let's go see something. Let's go to a show together. You understand what I'm saying? Because it creates an intimacy between the two of us.
And it should be, and then that goes into secret places.
Secret places. Yes.
What's that about? What secret places should we have? Is that the room that we got the key on that the kids can't get in?
Sometimes. Right? Sometimes. But there are places that me and Sherry have that we go to we don't tell nobody about.
Ooh,
right?
It's y'all little secret.
It's our little secret. It's our little place.
Wouldn't have couples group night there. That's just for
y'all.
y'all.
No group night there. Yeah.
Wow.
It's just our little spot. Like we got some restaurants, right?
I like that.
But like we don't tell nobody.
Okay.
Right? You know, because it's a place that means something to us. Right?
Absolutely.
And so we got these secret places. You know, it's something nice when you're getting away with your boo.
Absolutely.
Right? And we're going to our spot. Let's go to our spot.
And everybody know where we're going.
And nobody knows where we're going.
The two of you when I say everybody.
Yes. And we know exactly where we're going.
Yeah.
But sometimes the kids don't even know.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's a real
where y'all
secret.
going? Like, that ain't none of your business.
Absolutely. And y'all grown anyway and need to be packing anyway.
You know what it does? It creates a sense of expectation. right? We're going to be into something and somewhere that's just for us. There's an exclusivity.
And it's that part of life
it.
that I'm not sharing you with nobody else.
There you go.
Wow.
There you go.
That's good. That's real good, Pastor. Supported celebrations.
Supported celebrations.
What are we talking about there?
Yeah, you know, some people are big celebrators. Some people don't celebrate much.
Okay.
But I think if you're having a moment, my presence means everything. Right?
So if you a man and you out here doing your thing, you got to see her.
Yeah, right. So my wife, her birthdays are huge for her. She just had her 50th.
Wow.
Right?
Congratulations.
I was like, whatever you want to do. She's like, I want to throw my own party. I'm like, cool. How much you need?
Okay.
Right? Because that was just the thing, right? That was, how can I support
you need me to
your
get out
celebration?
The way. Support you by getting out the way.
She's like,
writing the check.
Got it. There it was. Right? So, but when I'm being celebrated, right, I don't need everybody there, but I need her there.
That's the important person for you.
Yeah.
And whatever else you do after that
whoever, if nobody else comes, if she's there, I'm good.
Amen. I know that's right. I know that feeling. I know that feeling well. Silly play dates.
Silly play dates.
You trying to get a grown man to have silly play dates?
Man, you got to have a silly play date. You got to lighten up.
We too rigid.
Yeah, we can be so rigid sometimes, right? And my wife has to help me with that because I'm more the serious one.
Yeah.
She's the one who's, she's fun and funny and
want to be goofy and stuff.
Want to be goofy, yeah.
And you be sitting there like, stop playing, girl.
Yeah. So stuff like I want you to be my boyfriend, right? Like we just met a few weeks ago.
So she goes somewhere and you show up to the place or something?
Yeah, something like that. She'll go somewhere, or if we go into this place, she's like, well, when we get there, right, you're gonna be ride from the park, right? From right, the project I grew up in.
Y'all got a whole script going on.
We got a whole script, man. Acting silly. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, man.
Still after all this time.
After all this time, bro.
That's beautiful. Wow.
All this time.
So you indeed meant silly play dates. Okay, I got it. And then sacred confidant.
Sacred confidant. I need to know that what I share with my wife, and she needs to know the other way. But I need to know that if I share with you my deepest secret,
it's safe.
It's safe, right? In fact, if I share with you just a fear,
wow,
right, that this ain't a conversation with your girlfriends, your mama. You understand what I'm saying? This is between me and you. If I share with you a concern, right, can you hold that until we decide together that it's okay to share that and who to share it with? Wow. Right? Because a brother needs to know he's not out there.
Absolutely. Can't be exposed.
He can't be exposed.
Like that. I got to know you got my back covered on that.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, let's move into prioritizing him.
Yep.
So when you talk about, you said making him, his needs, his desires, first on your list will have a wonderful boomerang effect. Talk about that. Men don't get to be first in nothing, Pastor. What you talking about? That don't even sound right.
So, yeah, I'm blessed. I don't even know what to tell you.
Wow. Okay.
I'm blessed. So here's what happens. A lot of dudes, for example, come home from work.
Okay.
Right? And, if she's normally home or if she gets home before he does, if he comes through the door, he needs to know that she's willing to stop whatever she's doing to welcome him home. Right? That's a simple way of prioritizing him.
Okay.
Right? Before you fill up your calendar with things that you and your girlfriends are going to do or that you're going to do with the kids.
Find out if he needs some time.
Just ask him, say, what do you need? I'm working on my calendar, right? These are some things I'm thinking about doing, but tell me where you need me so that I don't put anything in that space.
But she works too, Pastor. She if she works and she come home,
of course,
she ain't trying to acknowledge me. She tired. She been fighting 495 traffic. She ain't got time for all that.
Yeah.
Then what?
Yeah. So
how am I getting prioritized with these? Because women are doing it these days. They doing it big. They doing big things.
They doing it big.
Absolutely.
So let me just tell you something. A woman can handle both.
Oh, okay.
Right. Nobody multitasks like a woman. Right. But a simple phone call can be the statement of priority.
Oh, man.
Right? Just, hey, I'm just checking on you. How was your day?
The 40 Lessons podcast is executive produced by Shining Starlet Entertainment. For production consults, go to www.shiningstarlet.com.
Absolutely.
Right? She had a long day herself, right? Boss was on her, right?
But I thought about
the workload,
you.
But I thought about you. That's what we mean by prioritizing.
Wow, okay.
Right? And so, and again, if both of us are doing this,
it's a boomerang.
It's a boomerang effect.
Everybody getting fed the way they need to be fed.
Yeah.
But Pastor, sometimes it just don't work like that. Somebody's giving more. Sometimes somebody is pushing the wheelbarrow a little further. What do you do in those moments when you feel like you're pouring, but you thirsty?
I think when you're pouring but you're thirsty, that's when you pray.
Oh wow.
That's when you pray.
Got it.
Right. I think my wife.
And am I asking God for patience, wisdom, discernment? What am I asking God for in that moment when you pray?
I'm asking Him for give me patience.
Okay.
Right. Lord, help me to keep serving. Right.
Because that servitude is important.
Because that's what
the
makes,
key to it.
I'm telling you, that's what makes.
I keep
marriage
telling people
fly.
that. That's the key to it all.
Serve one another. Right, that's what makes marriage fly, when you serve one another.
Absolutely.
And sometimes when you're the one pouring out, right, you can feel that resentment. Pray about the timing to have the conversation, right? You don't have to ignore your own self and your need and your place in the relationship, but there's a right timing and a right way to have that conversation.
Absolutely.
Right, because no one should become a doormat because they're trying to prioritize their spouse. Right. As a matter of fact, don't become a doormat, and you can't have a healthy relationship as a doormat.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
But at the same time, you can't go into that conversation in your feelings.
You can't go in your feelings.
You gotta stabilize yourself to have that conversation from a centered place.
This grown people, I'm sure enough trying to walk with God stuff.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Like, hey, I'm serving Him, and He just he doesn't seem to acknowledge right what I'm doing and the sacrifices that I'm making, right? Take that to God. Take that brother to God.
Or
right?
take that woman to God.
Or take that woman to God.
If needed.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the key in that is take it to God.
Take it to God. Yes.
That's the key in that. Action speaks. What did you mean by that?
Yeah. We are action oriented as men.
Okay.
Right? I know that you are for me more by what you do than by what you say.
All right.
It's that simple, right? Action speaks, right? So the things that you do toward me, right? If you know...
So hearing I love you is not really as good as the action of something that really tells me you love me.
To some men, hearing it is important. It's vital,
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I got some buddies who they've longed to hear that from their wives. Like some women grew up in environments where they didn't communicate their affection.
Wow.
And
They don't express themselves.
They don't express themselves emotionally.
Okay.
Right? And so there's a dude sitting over there who's like, man, if she would just tell me she loved me,
I'll be good.
I would be good.
Okay.
Right? But then there are a lot of dudes who like, okay, I appreciate you love me, but this is what really speaks love to me. So can you act on that?
Okay.
Right? And again, right, we could take a lot of these principles and just flip them. Right?
And it applies the same way.
It can apply the same way. But when women ask me, this is why I wrote Cover Him, because they were like, well, Pastor, men don't talk to us about what they're thinking, what they're feeling.
So what do we do?
And so I started talking to men and saying, what do you need? And this is a list.
And this is what
that
came
really
out
set
of it.
Yeah.
Now, people about to throw phones at the TV.
Of course, yes.
And they about to knock their laptop off the desk on this one. What you mean kids second? You about to tell these mothers to put their children behind
Listen,
their...
I know.
Let me scoot over so when they throw stuff at us, I won't get hit. Come on, Pastor.
I know the biggest day of your life was when you delivered that baby. You brought that baby into your home, whether you adopted the child, right? Because it's a longing for a mother.
Absolutely.
But what can happen is a child can sort of displace a father, right? If all of the attention is going to the child, right? Baby sleeping in the bed. Right, you're holding the baby all the time. Right, everything you do is now.
Baby already getting the breast milk.
Be already getting the milk.
You know what I'm saying? And looking back at me.
I used to,
right. What you looking at,
right. So right, the design of the family from God's perspective is the husband and the wife. The children are an added. A welcome addition.
Okay.
Welcome addition, but never to be first, right? That child cannot experience deep security if one of the parents gets displaced. So when the child sees the two parents making room and prioritizing one another and setting the child aside
You're actually
appropriately,
saying that's safety for them.
You're actually creating a sense of safety and security for that child.
So let me throw a curveball at you then. That ain't my biological daddy though, Pastor. This is a blended family. Now
So,
what?
Yeah, same.
So this is my husband now, but these ain't his biological children, and I'm already feeling some kind of way that the first thing didn't work, and we trying to get this thing right. You want me to still put them second?
Yes.
Explain it to him, Pastor.
So again, the marriage principle is a marriage principle.
I like that.
Right.
The marriage principle is a marriage principle.
It's the marriage principle,
Okay.
right? God said, husbands love your wives, wives you respect your husbands, right? So he puts them first. The reason he put Adam and Eve together before he gave them children was because he had an order. Remember I talked about the principle of first mention.
That's right.
Right? So God establishes the order, and then he goes and says in 1 Corinthians, where he talks about the husband is a head, right? The wife under the husband.
Absolutely.
Right? The husband under Christ, right? And then the children follow. So even in a blended situation, if you disrupt the structure, what you now do is you position that marriage and that blended family not to flourish. So now it's more conversation, there's more teaching that needs to happen, right? You have to help the children understand that you're trying to create something that will benefit everybody in the house.
But the core principles are the same.
The core principles are the same.
Wow, that's good to hear. I wanted to make sure we spoke to that because I know some people out there in various situations, and I wanted to make sure that they got that.
Well, you know
part.
what happens in blended families, right? And
Talk to me about it.
A lot of times we parent out of guilt.
We're
Right,
because
because
we're trying to
make up for what
didn't work. Absolutely. And why is it? I'm glad you said that. Talk about how important it is to let that go. That we cannot parent from that place.
You cannot parent out of your pain. You have to parent. You accomplish your best out of strength and health.
Okay.
Right. So work to get strong and work to get healthy, emotionally healthy. Right. Go to counseling before you get into another marriage. Right. And figure out what hurt you in that previous marriage.
Okay.
Right. And how it shaped you, how it affected you, but also learn where your failures were.
Okay.
Right. So that you don't duplicate that in the next marriage. Right. So get strong.
Because you're still required to cover him.
You're still required to cover him.
And these principles still apply.
Right.
If you have a desire for a husband, this is just the way it works.
This is the way it works. Yeah.
Goal setting. What goals are we setting? What do you mean by that? Do you mean goals for the family? Goals for the individual couple? What we doing?
Every couple ought to have goals.
Okay.
Right.
Couple
goals. Yes. Right. Every couple should have financial goals, spiritual goals, goals for their family. Right. 1, 3, 5, 10-year goals, because we need to keep moving the ship forward. Right. And if we can work on goals together, right. A lot of couples fall to pieces because they haven't come into agreement about goals.
And they working as individuals inside the marriage,
yes.
Which never works.
It never works.
Because now I'm in competition with you. That's and right. I'm not working
That's
alongside you.
Right.
And if I got to stop what I'm doing to help what you're doing, or you got to stop what I'm doing to help what I'm
That's
doing,
right.
now I got resentment going on.
And I might not be in competition with you, but you might feel like it.
Even if it's not happening.
Right. Or you might feel ignored.
Or it just may happen just because of the way things are going between us.
Yes.
Wow.
Goals establish agreement.
And it give us boundaries as well.
Give us boundaries. How can two walk together?
Wow.
Unless they agree.
Pastor, I can't thank you enough for this time, man. That has been fruitful. I know it's a whole lot more meat on that bone we can get off and chew on with people, but we gonna hold it up right there. Pastor, where can people find you? I need you to know. Tell people where they can find you. Your social media. Tell them about church services. Sure. I want them to know everything where they can come check you out.
So my website is rodhairston.com.
Okay.
Excuse me. Rod Hair, which neither of us have. Right?
None.
Hairston. solwazi.com. So that's my website, and they can contact me through there. I'm on social at the same handles, IG, Twitter, Facebook. So those are places they can get me. The books are on Amazon, so if they want to grab them, just go get them.
Cover him, cover her on Amazon.
Yeah.
They can go check that out, pull that down.
Grab them right there.
And you are the senior pastor here, correct?
Yep, we planted Messiah Community Church, so
Okay.
I'm the senior pastor here, and we're in Reisterstown, Maryland. So our website is messiahcc.org, so people can catch us on the web. You can grab our app in the App Store.
Okay.
We're on the Droid space as well as iOS.
Okay.
So they can capture our services live on Sunday mornings as well as...
And services on Sunday or when?
Services on Sundays at 9 and 11.
9 and 11.
9 and 11.
Oh, good. See, come to the 9 o'clock if y'all, so you make sure he got to stop talking because he got to let 11 in at some point. You come to that 11, may God be with you, whatever happens. He getting to the flow.
Try to keep it moving.
You go be there. No.
Try to keep it moving.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you again, man. Appreciate you stopping through 40 Lessons, letting me come out here and hang out with you for a minute.
Keep up the great work.
It's been a blessing to me, man. I really appreciate it.
You're doing great work, man.
Hey,
great
man,
work,
listen.
Man.
You always know I'm produced by Shining Starlet Entertainment, Leak behind the camera, doing what she always do, keeping me in order, making sure I don't get too far out of line. You can find me at 40 Lessons on IG and Facebook. As I always tell you, you say it's yours. Let's go get it. I'll catch you next time. Peace.